Hi, friends. I look like I just woke up because I did. I had the funkiest dream, and I really have to get to the point before I forget it. Yeah. So I was watching some videos as they were being uploaded, and it was talking about Ascension, advancement, meaning whatever's going on inside of the body or what's helping our DNA transformations. So there was this sit down that I had, and it was weird because everything was blurry, and I was sitting in a chair, and there was this table in front of me, and then there was someone walking and pacing and talking to me. And this is my dream. But in my dream, they were saying we take great gratitude that your people have replaced the judgment for self-judging yourselves. That we were told about judgment this whole time so that we can always stay in conviction. That there aren't really anything possible that you could do to dismiss yourself from being a part of the higher council. It's oh, look, a heron! Yay! I don't know if you guys caught that. That was pretty cool. You might have to go back and pause. Herons are symbolic for transition and transformation. If you guys didn't know, the animal totem for that. So they were saying to me that please do not forget the divine. Ooh, I'm gonna forget what it was. Shoot. I should have had a notepad, but it was I woke up and I was so delirious, and I realized I was almost going to be late for work. But they said, please do not forget your divine purpose, your divine creation. And they were giving me this code that always kept going to ones and zeros and ones and zeros, that no matter how you did it, it ended up in ones and zeros. And they said, this is how you do your work. Everybody, or whoever is tapped into their destiny, or those who are awakened and doing their thing, it's these different synchronicities of ones and zeros are constantly allowing people to check into this unlimited resource of divine information, that it's like an ongoing library of all this data and information that you can actually sink yourself into. They said it was they're I thought when you see those TV shows where the suspected murderer, he gets set down at a table with handcuffs, and it's a room that's isolated, and there's that one mirror window where it's a window to you, or no, it's a mirror to you, but it's a window from outside inside, and you have the prosecutor walking by. So that's what was going on. I'm thinking, oh shoot, I'm in trouble because, I'm constantly stifling myself. I constantly beat myself up. I know I shouldn't do that, but I do. And I'm always trying to, there's a loud car in front of me. I'm always trying to correct myself because there's so much to fix about me. And I always make it no secret that, there's so much attention on my life, and I've really been trying to make certain that everything that I do is, it's pure of its purpose. And I don't know, it just seems like deep inside my gut, I don't feel like I'm quite there yet. But there's nothing that would really take me out of doing that. Like, there wouldn't be anything I would say I'm doing that would, you know, make me a bad person, if you may. But I think I have every human's, well, I do have every human's emotion. But the fact that I don't really hang around people, this car in front of me is really annoying. And he keeps merging into the lane that I keep going into. Shut up. It's fascinating because I know I'm supposed to say this message, and this car decides that it wants to be in front of me. What the quantum physics is going on? I'm gonna pass him. Give me 1 second. Your car is loud. So they were really showing me a lot of diagrams of how divine access. They kept using the word divine. I was like, what does that mean? And it meant infinity. It didn't mean like what we all perceive divine to be. We always say, oh, divine, it's so pretty and beautiful and blissful. But divine has a, they were telling me that it's when something returns back to its grace is divine. And that we soon return back to grace of which we were created. That's what Ascension really means, and that's what the Ascension process really means, is that when all grace has restored itself, where all things are at peace, where all things are at grace. They did tell me that there will be a couple of trials. They did show me that there was an earthquake. I don't know where, but then it was like a gathering of people after this quake happened, and people started to learn that their journeys and destinies just begun, like at that point. There's going to be a lot of uniting and smiling. No, why are you next to me, car? I'm going to cut this short because I'm very irritated. When I wake up this way, I'm like grumpy. But I really want to share with you guys. Always return to your divine self, no matter what it is. That's really the underlining message of this is because you are in death renewal, it's almost as though each time you sleep and awaken yourself, it's not saying like what you did. What I'm trying to say is that if you guys know you're doing something and you don't feel quite positive about it, that feeling will match the next time you feel that way, will match the next time you feel that way. And that's usually what judgment is. It's the ongoing conviction of self. And it will continue until you return to your divine origin of grace. It's when you go back to source, when we go back to source. So it's sort of like it's contract that you feel ways, and it's contract you go through certain things on purpose to always go back to your grace. Like it's almost like when they redefine the word recompense, it's not like repenting, because that's what the duality and dogma has you do to their system, but you're not dogma or duality. So when you're in a free will territory, free will environment, there are no consequences for anything. And this is why people who are elitists, I'm not going to say the ILLUMANT, I won't say that, because I really don't believe that word is the truth. I believe elite is the better word to use, because you can actually misspell elite and respell the other one. I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying. But when people always say, oh, it's those who cover their eye of the Horus or make the triangles with their hands, those are the ones who know that they are puppetries and they have handlers. But the ones who are running the show, which I'll get into in another detail, but they're the ones who know that there's consequently there's no penalty for what you do now, but there's like an infinite chance of that happening at the end of your term of your life, basically. It's something that I really tapped into, and I'm thinking, wow, these people really know a lot about what we of the light and the divine are starting to discover. How did these people know that? How did they get so advanced in knowledge and wisdom and know how to use our terminology, use our words against us, and know how to keep us in a parallax reality while they do their thing and make a lot of money and rebel and lash out, and then they'll just kind of say, well, but if I do something good at the end of my life term, then all is good. And I think that's what many people don't understand. They think, oh, well, because this person's bad now, they go to hell at the end. And it's like, but that's if you have contracted your soul to that deity, timeline, dogma, or duality. But if you haven't, then everything has its own signature. I don't know if you guys understand this. I'm starting to go into the rambling. I used to ramble before Kanye did. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. But really, really go into your heart and act on the pureness of your heart, because that goes to infinite source and returns back to you, your grace. And as long as you keep your grace active or working on it, there are great rewards on its way. And also too, when you feel good about it, that's when we call it ascension. Your body is adjusting itself. So like, let's say for example, before I cut this off, if a plague happened or famines happen, it's sort of like your body will not go with that timeline of those activities. Or if there's a cataclysm, like when people have bad car accidents and they don't have a scratch in their body, that's a perfect example of what I'm trying to say. But then people who intentionally do things to manipulate and sway people's thought, you're really acting on the serpent's energy, and then the serpent's energy is still an infinite, because it's a constant way of manipulating people and turning people, like it's a plot and a plan. So when you think of, like, let's say the word devil or Satan, it may not even be a being or a person, but it certainly is an entity and a behavior and a verb or an action of self-corruption. But then you allow it to leave your vessel, and then it affects others, and it affects others, and it just keeps going and going. That's that whole infinite way of that's how it works. Sorry, this was a little bit over the top, and it was a little bit far too much than what I was going to say, and I'm a little bit tired still. I love you guys, and stay tuned. I'll have something back to normal tomorrow. I think you guys can handle it. You guys are fine. My people are always good. All right, take care, everyone. Bye.